Okay, so thank you guys for coming in. We're going to be doing a live with a photographer, July Castillo. We've been working with him as with us as an agency photographer, and we just kind of want to start doing some chats so you guys can kind of hear some questions and some responses from a photographer that we work with that probably can give you guys as models some insight on how photographers do their different shoots and things like that. So I'm going to request him. Let me put a pin in there. Hey, how are you?
Hi Russell, how are you?
Good,
How you doing?
good.
Where
Just
where are you?
put this pin in.
Bring this up a bit.
I was not prepped for this.
Yes, you were, Russell. Okay.
Studio.
You're in LA right now?
Yeah, I'm in LA.
Nice. How's everything with you?
Huh?
How's everything with you?
Everything is good. It's good. I'm enjoying the LA. I'm just glad actually I'm not in Vegas because I know it's hotter there. So I'm
Oh,
very
yeah.
glad to be in at least in a cooler place.
Yeah.
But I did turn
Yeah.
on my air conditioning though this week, so
Oh, what a bummer.
I know. Alrighty, so we're going to start with some questions that we have. Obviously, the first one, and I didn't include this one. I sent this over to you. What do you shoot with? What kind of camera do you shoot with?
Oh, I'm shooting with three brands right now. I'm shooting with Canon, the 5D Mark III. I'm shooting with the Panasonic GH5, which I do little videos with it, and the one that is being my workhorse is the Sony A7S III. That one's
Is that
pretty nice.
is that normal for you to have like that many different cameras, or is it like obviously each one has its own features and stuff?
Each one has its strengths. The Canon, I moved to Sony from Canon because uh, Canon is just not hitting the mark lately, I don't think. So Sony
Okay,
is upping the photography game. It has for a while, so I've been doing working with Sony mostly right now. And
okay,
The Panasonics are mostly for video and small compact machine.
gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
and so the first question I have for you is, what made you become a photographer? What sparked that interest?
Uh, so I went to school for graphic design, and that was so boring. It was really boring. It wasn't for me. My minor was photography, and that was so interactive. It was really fun to just be out and about, uh, shooting whatever you want. Just make it look good. And then once we started doing lights, oof, that was so fun. Like just moving lights here and there, it just changes the whole mood of something, you
Hmm.
know? That's basically it. It's very interactive. You're moving around, you're uh, making it look however you want without, I mean, if you don't have a team, basically you can do whatever you want with it, right?
Hmm.
That's what drew me into it. Yeah.
Okay. Who are some of the photographers that you look up to for inspiration?
Uh, I like Ben Hazard. He's daddy. He's pretty good. He puts work out that is high class all the time.
Uh-huh.
Sven, he does a lot of beauty. And his work is really, really fucking. Can we cuss? Yeah, right. Sorry, I'll just. Um, Sorry about that one. And Eva Wong, um, she's pretty good too. Oh, and another one. I think she is from here. Filthy Mouth Creative. I
Okay.
don't know if she's or from here being Vegas. She's very good. She has a very retro style, but she makes it look retro with a touch of I don't give a damn,
Right, right.
which I really like.
Yeah. No, I think that last one, it sounds very familiar for me. Like I can't pinpoint like exactly who she is, but I do remember seeing that name like on my feed
Yeah,
before.
she shoots a lot in the what is the name of that casino? But she shoots a lot of brands like clothing, and she shoots them a lot in Old Vegas,
Hmm.
like on the rooftops and all that. I don't know how she gets access to that, but pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Nice, nice. Can you tell me model wise, who is your current muse from as a model, current or past? Doesn't necessarily have to be on our roster. It'd be great if it is, but no pressure. It doesn't have to be.
Um, I don't think that I adapted a muse, but you always have someone that you're trying to impress, I guess, or you're trying to um, fit your style into,
Hmm.
right? I do have a lot of favorite models that I like. It just feels like if it was just a photographer and her, it just looks like a whole production.
Hmm.
But I don't have a muse, Russell.
You don't have a
I don't,
muse.
yeah, I don't think so.
All right. Tell me, what is your worst experience on set? You don't have to necessarily name names because they might be watching, or it might get back to them, or unless if you feel comfortable giving names. But if you can kind of share some details, what made it a bad experience?
Uh, the ones that stand out is when it's just a test and they try to take control over every aspect of the shoots,
Mm,
and it just ends up turning out a little stiff, everything. Because, I mean, I'm not going to tell them, no, I'm going to do this. I mean, I'm just going to go with whatever the model's throwing, right?
right,
Um, but yeah, the ones where it just feels like you are walking on eggshells if you ask them to do something.
right,
I don't know. It doesn't feel like a creative and, free environment.
right,
Those are the bad ones when they're really picky.
right. No, I
Yeah.
can imagine that. Just like even for me as an agent, trying to develop a model and advise a model and
Yeah.
things like that. And it's just like, you get those models who think they know everything and how they should be shot or what castings they should be getting. And I know I could definitely feel you on that, that can be a bit frustrating. Like,
Right. The image that you have of yourself is completely different, or can be completely different than what other people can see on you. That might even be better for your typecast, I guess. Right.
mm-hmm, right,
So I mean, being a little bit more easygoing and understanding on maybe this other look might fit me, that's not a
mm-hmm,
bad thing,
right, right.
right?
Next one I have is you have a history of shooting a lot of like beauty shots and fashion editorials. Which genre do you love more, and why? And what when you look at a model, what do you see? Like, oh, I want to shoot beauty with them. Oh, I want to shoot fashion with them. Like,
Uh,
that's a lot of
I,
questions all in one.
well, I like them. I like all of those styles. Sometimes a model will fit beauty better than an editorial, simply
Hmm.
because it just translates better on camera.
Hmm.
And I like beauty because you can get really playful with your lights. Hold on, we'll wait for that one. You can get really creative with your lights, your equipment. Um, yeah, I like that. When you're doing editorials, it's really fun to just play with the environment that you're shooting in.
Hmm.
if it's outdoors or if it's in a studio. Um, but I think I prefer beauty because it's a lot more uh, it's fun, I guess. You don't have to
Right.
you don't have to mess with the changes and the time constrictions of the studio, or we've been out here for too long, you know?
Hmm.
Sometimes beauty, it's a little bit easier for me, I suppose, than the other styles.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And the next question is someone actually asked this question, do you only shoot females? But how I was wording it was shooting males and females, which is better, easier, more interesting to you? And just to clarify, you do shoot both.
Yeah. So, um, the times that I have to shoot males, I can only stick to certain looks because not all of them are comfortable doing, certain things, right? You
Yes.
know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Some of them
So,
come in a little too tough, too much testosterone, and
yeah,
not saying that they have to be super feminine, but it's just like to get the right shot that you're aiming for. Yeah.
you have to be comfortable with uh, things that may not be, that you may not be comfortable with, but they sell whatever you're trying to, you know, do. And that's one of the reasons that I shoot, I guess, female models more is because they can be a lot more playful and free to do whatever, you know.
Hmm.
As with a male, it's if you try to tell them to do something that they may not be comfortable with, it's not going to look right. It's just gonna feel stiff and I don't know. They may not even like the what you're telling them to do, and they're just not gonna be into it anymore from there on.
Right. Right. So yeah, that's a good point. Someone Thug Verdi said models are like actors. You just gotta be comfy. It's a good point. It's a good point. Let's see. Do you ever scout for models unsigned to an agency? What's your experience in that whole process in scouting?
I loved scouting for models. I do, and I mean, I did, but I don't know if it's the city that I'm in, but it just turns out to be a letdown sometimes, you know?
Uh-huh.
Um, this person will have a great look, and I'll chase them for a little bit, and it falls off. Um, Sometimes it's easier for them to not follow through with the shoot because they don't have an agency that is going to, tell them what's up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's happened a few times where I'd have a team of hair, makeup, and jewelry or whatever, and they'll just call and say, I can't go anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of left a sour taste for me.
Right.
But if I do that again, it has to be, it has to be worth it, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real quick, someone just asked, Jihan just asked, where are you based?
Vegas, Las Vegas, yeah.
Do you
Is
just
that's
stick to Vegas, or do you also? I know the answer to that, but for everyone else, do you just stick to Vegas, and where else do you go?
I try to go around whenever I have time, but I work for casinos here. I do some of their video and photography, so that's why I have to stay here, right? But I mean, eventually, I'm gonna have to hit the road and move over there, just like
Yeah,
you, Russell.
yeah. You've asked me a few times, hey, can I test with your LA models? I'm like, yes. Just tell me when. Tell me
Yeah,
when.
I have to go. I really have to go more often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next one I have is what stands out most to you when you're wanting to shoot a model? Whether it's a model that's reaching out to you, or maybe somebody from your team that's reaching out to you, or an agency that's trying to get you to test.
Uh, what stands out the most? sometimes when I look at a model and I can base the look around them, that is that is a dream. When I either they reach out or you say, "Can you do you want to shoot this girl?" and and I look at them and I say, "Man, I can do whatever I want with her because it'll look, it'll look good." But when I have to um, find a model that fits this look, that can be a little bit more challenging. I guess that stands out the most when the model when I can fit the look to a certain model rather than the other way.
Mhm.
That's the best thing.
Right.
Was that the question?
Yeah,
Jay?
it's just however you want to answer it. It's all like your own
Okay.
perspective on this. All right.
All right.
How's quarantine going for you? What social media challenges have you taken on? Whether it's photography challenges or your new way of shooting. Like, how's that all quarantine life going for you?
Well, the challenges every time that I would get one, I was already late to the party. Like they had moved on to another one. And I was like, man, I'm not even gonna do it anymore. But I mean, I guess I should have, right? Like someone sent me the challenge of first photo ever taken. And then they
Hmm.
sent me you have to take a shot and do like 10 push-ups. And I was like, oh, wait a second. Which one do I do? So I didn't do any of them. I'm pretty lame like that, man. But I've been doing like I think I did one of them. Um, but I mean, other than that, I've been working on the house, working on
Hmm.
old work. Some of the uh, things or footage that I've been sitting on, I've worked on, I've finished it. Some of them turn out to be accepted for a publication, which was pretty cool, you know.
I'm waiting
Uh,
for one. I'm waiting for one to
yeah,
come. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, just stay busy. I got a new dog. He's keeping me busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, very busy. Yeah.
Okay. The next one I have is probably very relatable with quarantine. Have you ever gone back and re-edit photos from the past currently?
Not too in the past, because
Hmm.
those can suck. And you're like, man, what am I doing over here? The, I mean, I will go and scrub some of them if they're fixable, or if they're
Hmm.
just like, oh, maybe I can see that this can go somewhere else. Maybe I'll do that, but I haven't been doing that. I've been doing just like 5 months behind
Hmm.
when I already had like a certain look nailed.
Hmm.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it.
What makes you want
Otherwise,
to go? Go ahead.
otherwise I'll just embarrass myself. I look at old work and I'm like, oh God,
Mhm.
shut off the computer.
So, like, when you see that, like, what makes you want to go back and re-edit? And is it like just to challenge yourself to do it differently, or is it just like you just want to play with it a little bit?
Yeah, just play with it. Because sometimes I'll just have some work sitting there and I know that you just edit a few photos just to send to the agency or the model or the client. And then if you send more, it just feels repetitive. So sometimes I go back to those photos and think, man, this photo could have had good things going. So I just
Hmm.
go and do that just to play with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Jihan says, "Let's see the dog."
Neon,
What kind of dog
Neon,
did you get?
come here. He's Cane Corso mix. He's like he's a 3 month puppy that's like humongous. You want me to go get him?
I mean, sure. I mean, is this the same one that I seen back in October?
No, he was little.
Oh,
Come here, Neon. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come here. Come here. Come here. Ah,
oh,
hello.
beautiful.
Hello, guys. Look at this guy. Baby teeth and all. Look at that. All right.
Okay, so with social media as being a really big way to connect with people right now, and especially right now during quarantine, what's the best approach someone, perhaps like a model or a client or someone else from the industry, a hair or makeup person, what's the best way for them approach to you about wanting to collaborate and do something, whether it's a paid job or an unpaid job?
Uh, DMs. I mean, you can just contact me. Maybe the you send a message and I have something going on that fits that look, and that's maybe that happens. Otherwise, just on my if it's a longer thing, like you have a list of uh, things that you need to tackle. Just on my website, I have the how to contact me, which has um, I can organize it better if it's a job that needs to be more descriptive. Otherwise, just DM me and say, do you want to shoot? And depending on what I have going on, I'll say yeah, or like maybe let's save it for later.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Let's see. So let's dive in a little bit into the videographer side. Like, when did you get into that? How did you get into that?
Well, that's what I do for work, and I got into it because one of my friends, his boss, who has a production company here in Vegas, recommended me because they needed a second camera. So I went and I started working. They liked what I did, and I mean, it was really fun just to be running around and shooting. It was, I think the job was for one of the shows here, and they were doing a little documentary, and it's really fun to see everything that was happening in the show, and you feel like, man, I'm just looking at it happening right here, you know? Yeah, that's how I got into it. I started with like documentary stuff, and then I just started having fun with the models. Like some of them will fit motion, and some of
Mhm.
them are a little bit stiff. So maybe I'll do that. But if I feel that if I feel that a model has a look and she's still not comfortable with it, I'll still do it. Because
Mm,
I mean, you know,
okay. All
yeah.
right. So next one is going to be about the roster. Who are some of your favorite from our roster that you've shot with?
Lyric is always a favorite. She's really easy to work with. And she has a very wide, broad look.
Hmm.
And it was very fun to shoot Melissa. Yeah, it's Brooklyn.
This
Yeah,
is
it's Brooklyn.
Lyric. Lyric.
I'm sorry, Lyric. Why do I keep confusing her? That's Lyric.
Because her Instagram handle is Brooklyn.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Lyric. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was really fun. That day was really, really cold, and you cannot. I was wearing like two jackets, and
Uh
she's just standing there looking all dope.
huh. Okay. I think
The
this was
other,
like also her first shoot too when she came to the agency.
oh, see,
Yeah.
she had just she had an openness to just do whatever. Well, that was really fun. That was
Yeah.
really fun. She was fun. The other one was Melissa. Melissa, mainly because the location really fits her look, and she was working it. Like she felt the location, and she just went to town. Look at that. That's really cool. She, yeah, she it was really fun to work with her, especially because she fits like it happened. That set happened to be there, and she owned it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Oh, and I don't know if you have anything from Jasmine. I just shot her like a little bit ago.
Yeah, I didn't want to show it because I know we're waiting for that one to be published.
Right.
I mean, we shared some teasers like when you shared it on the story and we
Yeah.
reposted it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
she
tell
was
you
fun.
when I saw that, I was not. I mean, not nothing against the team, but I wasn't expecting all of that. I really wasn't because like I saw some
Yeah.
BTS, and I know you can't really expect anything when you see BTS and things like that. But it was just like I was like, I wonder how this is gonna turn out. And then like when I saw the final edit, I was like, why do I even doubt him? Like,
Yeah, no, I mean she fit the look, and I mean the colors or the wardrobe that she brought. I
hmm
mean, we kind of did pick for it for the location, but it was fitting, you
hmm
know? And it turned out so well. I submitted it for publication and it got snagged real quick. I was
yeah.
surprised too.
Okay. What is your best achievement thus far? Clients, published work, test shoots, any type of work.
Uh, I mean, any publication is a good achievement, right? Because you're always doubting yourself, and then they take it, and you're like, of course. I mean, it was a good team. And some of the other ones, like um, the higher jobs, they were NDA, so I really don't have anything. Like, I couldn't like snag any photos, or I couldn't get um, anything to like show for it. But those are really fun because you get to work with people that you really don't get to see every day, I guess, right?
hmm
And the traveling on the some of these shoots is really fun too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. And then, what is the first thing you're going to do once you get out of quarantine?
Man, I'm just gonna go to work, see people, shake hands, say what's up, man. God.
Right.
Maybe hit a bar with a bunch of people.
To like
But
drink
yeah,
in public instead of at home.
yeah, it's just missed. And I
Uh-huh.
don't know if I'm not taking it as serious as I should, but I mean, I have to go out every now and then and like maybe snap a few pics every here, you know, somewhere. But I mean, hopefully people are staying safe. Vegas hasn't
Yeah.
been hit that hard, you know?
Yeah.
Or I mean, California probably did. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I think California is, I think, well, I follow the rules. Me personally, I stay home. I don't go out unless I have to.
Hmm.
We just like to the grocery store. I think for me personally, that's when I actually see it because like it's kind of like you don't know what's going on in the world until you go out there and see it.
Yeah.
So, just watching the news and things like that, just, when I actually see it from my own eyes, when I go to the grocery store or when I have to go to the bank for the agency and things like that, is I think that those are the times when it's like when I actually see it, other than just staying in the house being stir crazy. But
Yeah. It hit me when I hit the strip and I did a video there. And it hit me more when I went to Trader Joe's and they were just letting in people like a little bit at the time. I was like, oh my God.
yeah,
Okay.
I saw,
Yeah.
yeah, somebody else posted that on their feed on like a few weeks ago. I think like maybe like 3, 4 weeks ago, and it's like, and I've seen it quite a few times, photos of the strip, and it was like empty, and it's like I've never seen it that empty. I know they shut it down for like New Year's Eve, but that's
Yeah.
like I feel like it was no one there. Like that was crazy.
Yeah. And I was walking around and I was looking at there were some homeless people there and I'm thinking like, do they even know what's happening? Are they
Right.
like, hey, it's pretty empty around here, guys. What the hell's happening?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably.
All right. Let's get a few more questions. Where do you want to be? Long term goals, short term goals, things like that. Like, what are you trying to work towards?
Mm, uh, long term, it would be just finally make the move over there, right? And do do work that is, that work that you want to show off, right?
Hmm
And that is the ultimate goal. Um, and short term, just I don't know, stay alive, I guess.
Yeah. That's a good goal. That's a good goal.
Yeah.
Um, Best advice you can give to aspiring photographers that may be watching or may watch this later, or just give a message out there.
Right. The best advice that I got was who was it? I don't remember who it was, but they said that this career is um, it's a career of longevity as much as it is
Hmm.
creativity. So as long as you keep going for it and putting work out and staying busy with it with the same uh, photography or video or whatever you're doing, just keep at it, never stop. And eventually, if you're going towards a goal, you're gonna get there one way or another.
Hmm.
Even if you don't, if it doesn't come out the way that you were envisioning it, which is a very big mistake to envision a goal, because otherwise it's just chaos when when you probably reach something that you didn't weren't expecting and you're not appreciating it. But just keep going, keep
Hmm.
punching,
All right.
keep punching.
That's good. It's good advice. And then, what social media do you have where everyone can find you? What platform do you use?
I used the most this one, July Castillo Studio, and the other one where I just post work for like film photography or street photography is Art and Fear. That one I feel a little bit more free to do weird and moody stuff on that. So those are the two main ones that I use.
Okay. And so that's all the questions that I have. Got a couple that are sitting here. It's got a question about what's your favorite type of shoot to do?
Oh, lately it's been a very minimalist shoot. So you just grab a model, a few lights, and a camera, and just go, go run. Those have been my favorite lately. And it's happened like that because of quarantine, because you don't want to make a big deal.
Hmm.
And they have been really fun because you really are just working with what you have and the elements. You don't have to plan for to use what you have. You're just planning for what's available, which is really fun.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. Alrighty, well, that's all that I have. I don't see any other more questions that we didn't go over. Oh, Jihan asked, what do you think about the FaceTime photo shoots?
They were really cool when this guy did them. What's his name? Whatever his name was. Lucky Fish? No, that wasn't him. They were really cool. And after seeing just FaceTime shoots on your feed for like a while, there was like, okay, guys, how about using a camera now?
So,
But yeah, they were really cool. They're really creative. I love them.
mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I just got another question. Lenses. What lenses do you have? Do you use?
Hmm. I have a trusty 100 millimeter macro, which is what I use for beauty sometimes, or most of the times. I have 24 to 70 Tamron and Sigmas. I have a Canon 70 to 200, and I have a 90 millimeter tilt shift that I want to use for portraiture because it looks really fun to
Mhm.
use for that, which I'm probably going to use as soon as I get a chance. Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, that's all that I have. Thank you so much for being our first person to do this with. This is good chatting with you and catching up with you during times. And yeah, I'll see you in the social media.
Bye, Russell. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you, July.
Bye. Stay safe.
You too. All right, thank you guys so much for joining our live on this Talk Tuesday. We're definitely going to try and keep this going on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 o'clock. We're going to try and just keep bringing on different people that are in the industry that we have worked with in the past, personally as an agency. So our next one is going to be scheduled for this Thursday, coming up at 2 p.m. right here on our live. I'm going to hopefully sign out and try to save this. And thank you guys so much. Stay